There's a moment in Star Wars that feels like a knife to the heart, and it's not Luke learning the truth, or Anakin turning to darkness. It's Mace Windu falling, thrown from the window of the Chancellor's office, betrayed by the very Jedi he tried to protect. His fate sealed not with a scream, but with silence. No final words, no triumphant stand, no closure. Just lightning, glass, and a long descent into the unknown. And then, nothing. Not a single whisper of what became of him. Not even a body to bury. For a character as powerful and iconic as Windu, that absence speaks louder than any explosion. Most people accepted it. They saw the fall, felt the weight of the betrayal, and moved on. But if you've ever watched that scene and felt a strange unease, like something didn't add up, you're not alone. The Star Wars galaxy has always thrived on myths, on legends half-remembered and truths buried in shadows. And sometimes, the ones you think are gone are the ones who are simply waiting. There's a reason fans can't let this go. It's not just hope or nostalgia. It's because, in a universe where Sith Lords return from ashes and Jedi survive the impossible, Mace Windu's story feels unfinished. There's wisdom in silence, but there's also warning. The absence of Mace Windu from the Star Wars canon isn't just a forgotten footnote. It's a glaring void. He wasn't just another Jedi Master. He was the one who almost stopped everything. The one who stood toe-to-toe with the most dangerous Sith of all time. And for that reason, he may be the one character Palpatine would have feared surviving. A man like Mace doesn't just disappear. Not without a reason. Not without a purpose. And in the depths of this galaxy, purpose has a strange way of hiding in plain sight. What if he lived? What if he fell, survived, and chose to vanish, waiting for the moment to strike when the world least expects it? What if the silence that followed his fall wasn't death, but decision? We've seen Jedi become hermits, warriors become ghosts, and enemies become allies. Why not Mace? Why not the one Jedi who never truly fit the mold, who always walked the line between light and control? He was never meant to fade into the background. And the more you examine the clues, the more the picture becomes clear. He's not dead. He never was. In this video, we're diving deep into the mystery of Mace Windu's fate. Not with wild speculation, but with sharp analysis, careful details, and a clear-eyed look at everything the story has, and hasn't, told us. We'll explore the fall itself, the silence that followed, and the legacy left behind. We'll uncover the possibilities, the hints from creators, and the many reasons why Mace Windu is, without question, still alive. So sit back, tune in, and let's piece together the hidden truth of one of the greatest Jedi the galaxy has ever known. Everyone remembers the moment Mace Windu was blasted out of that window by Palpatine and Anakin. His hands severed, his face contorted in pain, lightning tearing through his body. But Star Wars has a habit of letting its legends vanish without closure. That silence leaves room for speculation and, in this case, survival. We saw Mace fall, but we never saw a body. Not in the streets below, not in a hidden morgue, not even whispered in the archives. For a universe so detailed, this absence speaks loudly. Jedi have survived far worse, with far less support. So why is his fate still open? Samuel L. Jackson himself has said Windu survived. He's not some outsider pitching a fan theory. He played the character, knew George Lucas, and claims he got a personal blessing for that belief. That's not confirmation, but it's not nothing either. In Star Wars, death often comes with a musical cue, a camera linger, a funeral flame. Mace got none of that. He was thrown into a void, both literally and narratively. And that void is only deepened with time. If Darth Maul can survive being cut in half, how is it so far-fetched to believe Mace Windu lived through a fall? Maul plummeted into a bottomless pit, driven by hate, and pulled himself back together with nothing but rage. Windu had the force, experience, and resilience on his side. Anakin's limbs were lost, his body was burnt alive, and he still became the most feared being in the galaxy. Jedi endure, especially when their story isn't finished. Mace was at the height of his power. He didn't go down quietly, and that matters more than most remember. Even Emperor Palpatine came back from total disintegration. He didn't just survive, he returned with a full clone body and another empire waiting. Star Wars bends the rules of life and death when the story demands it, and Windu's story still feels unfinished. No other Jedi death is left as ambiguous as his. Even obscure characters get novels or flashbacks to wrap things up. But Mace was silenced and then ignored, as if his ending was too powerful to confront. That silence is a signal. After the fall of the Jedi, many survivors went into hiding. Obi-Wan, Yoda, Ahsoka, and Cal Kestis all found their own corners of the galaxy to disappear into. Why not Mace? He would have known the risks, understood the stakes, and chosen survival over martyrdom. He was a master of strategy, not just combat. If he escaped, he wouldn't come charging back to the temple. He would vanish, lick his wounds, and wait. Maybe he believed the galaxy had to heal before he returned. Maybe he thought the Jedi needed to be reborn without him. What's most suspicious is that no one ever mentions him again. Yoda never speaks of him on Dagobah. Obi-Wan doesn't utter his name. It's as if he's been erased, not just lost. That feels deliberate, like a secret being kept by those who survived. If Mace Windu had died, there would have been a reckoning, a moment of mourning, a reflection on his power and sacrifice. But instead, there's a void. No grave, no record, no closure. And in Star Wars, voids tend to be filled, eventually. Mace Windu's legacy isn't one of peace and wisdom. His legacy is fear, control, and decisive action. He wasn't beloved like Yoda, or admired like Obi-Wan. He was the blade in the shadows, doing what had to be done. That type of Jedi doesn't go quietly. If he's alive, he's not out there spreading light. He's probably working in silence, pulling strings, protecting balance in hidden ways. Maybe he doesn't trust the galaxy anymore. Maybe the betrayal cut too deep, and the Jedi name means nothing to him now. Think of what he saw. He watched the Republic crumble, the Chosen One betray him, and the Sith rise within the very institution he tried to protect. That doesn't just scar a man, it changes him. Maybe Mace Windu died, but only in name. The man who might still live isn't a Jedi anymore. He's something else, something shaped by war and regret. And maybe that's why no one has seen him, because he doesn't want to be seen. Because he's still out there watching in silence. Over the years, fans have noticed small clues sprinkled across Star Wars media. Mentions of hooded figures, unnamed warriors with purple lightsabers, and mysterious survivors with deep connections to the Force. None are confirmed, but they keep appearing. There are rumors of a Jedi living deep in the underworld of Coruscant. Stories of someone training Force-sensitive orphans, guiding them away from both Jedi and Sith paths. These whispers echo the kind of secret life Windu might choose. Even in recent shows, there's a growing sense that legends are still hiding. The return of Ahsoka, the survival of Order 66 escapees, the resurrection of characters long thought gone. The universe keeps bending to welcome ghosts back into the fold. So if Mace Windu shows up again, it won't be random. It'll feel like destiny, like the Force itself waited for the right time to bring him back. And if that day comes, he won't be the same man who fell from that window. He'll be something far more dangerous. If Mace Windu is still alive, then his return would mean more than just shock value. It would symbolize survival, justice, and the unfinished business of a galaxy still healing from its wounds. He isn't just another Jedi. He was the fire, the wall, the storm that never bowed. Seeing him again would reshape everything. His presence would force characters to confront the past, to acknowledge the cracks in the Jedi Order and the role they played in their own downfall. Mace wouldn't return for praise. He would return with purpose. The fans haven't let him go because his story was never closed. He wasn't given peace. He wasn't granted memory. He was cast aside mid-sentence, and that silence has lingered long enough. His survival isn't about possibility. It's about narrative justice. So maybe he's scarred, maybe he's broken, but he's alive. He's waiting, and someday the Force will call him back into the light, or into the shadows, where unfinished legends tend to rise again.